Welcome back to Final Fantasy V, everybody. And we are back in the basement of Val Castle. Because what might actually lie beneath Val Castle? I don't know. It's called Val. You think you can beat me, huh? I'll give you exactly 1 minute. Well, sure. Not 1 second more. Got it? Yeah, whatever. Oh no, we're gonna face off against an emo guy! No! Oh, it's Odin. Okay, well, there you go. That solves that. So yeah, welcome back to Final Fantasy V, everybody, and we are here to claim the summon monster Odin. And people might be wondering, like, if I change the audio on the track. No, it actually does play fast because you are counting down to a minute. If you get below a minute, he will do his vengeance sword and he will kill you all. So that's the way it's going. And until then, we're gonna get super fast music because that's what we gotta do. Go no further. And boom, we did it in almost half the time. Almost. We were 2 seconds off. And that counts. And now we have the summoned monster, Odin. And that'll come in handy a little bit later. Especially for grinding purposes. But the sad part is with Odin, since the biggest feature of him is that he will insta-kill everything on the screen, he does have another attack, but it's not that strong. At least I don't think they fixed it until probably like 7, maybe 8, because in 8 he becomes more of a he comes when he wants to kind of summon. But yeah, so now we have the summon monster Odin, and welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's New Year's was good. Yeah, New Year's happened last week, didn't it? I have to double check now. Yeah, New Year's was last week. I hope everybody had a good New Year's. I hope your hangover wasn't too bad. Mine personally was great because I got to sit back and watch movies with my friends and family and introduce them to some movies that they hadn't actually seen. Granted, we stayed within kind of the Marvel Cinematic Universe canon of it, but a lot of the people at the party that I was at had never seen either Guardians of the Galaxy, and I love Guardians. I look for excuses to watch it, and Ant-Man. And so that was really fun to go watch Ant-Man again and see it from the perspective of people with new eyes to it, including my wife. Andrea actually has never seen it, so that was her first viewing. And so I had a good time. My little papoose had a good time too. She was not horribly overwhelmed by the people. She also didn't stay up till midnight either. I think we got her down by about 9 and just let her sleep in a room because she was out like a light. So, but yeah, I hope everybody had a good holiday season. Now that this holiday season is over, I'm actually breathing a sigh of relief because things can get back to somewhat normal. I say somewhat normal because I basically have one more week off, and then next week I have I have roughly a semester left in college before I can graduate. So this semester is going to be grueling. It's going to be just so much fun. And I don't think that's going to hurt upload schedules or anything like that. If it does, obviously, I'll let you guys know. But I am making the final push to graduate from college and be done with that part of my life so that I can, in turn, focus on other things like Geek News and all the other things I'm doing on my channel. Oh, Mirage Village appearing in a forest? Oh, that's just a rumor. So in case you guys didn't know what we're doing next in this little side quest, we are going to go to Mirage Village. A tower just appeared on top of, and that, believe it or not, that actually, I think, is Mead, but they forgot to put in the Mead headline, and he's basically saying, oh no, Cid's trapped underneath the tower. If you didn't notice, where the airship hatch is, because this is Crescent Island, where the airship hatch is, there's a tower there now. And so, at that point, Cid's kind of trapped. And don't worry, we'll get to him in good time, but yeah, because there's the tower right there. But next up, we're going to have to do Mirage Village. And this becomes now the painful process of actually Drak discovering Mirage Village. It's Oh, I never remember where it is when I play this game, but it's okay. I'm consulting a guide right now, as you can tell, just to make sure that I'm going to the right place. While we're doing that, though, so yeah, I don't think that school will interrupt my upload schedule, but if it does, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I want to make this final push so that I can, in turn, stop working on schoolwork and start working on things like Geek News and all the other stuff going on the channel. And maybe even add some new stuff, because that seems to be my thing now. And, well, let's go ahead and get into... I really wish I could say there was some channel updates to make, but... Well, no, we're back into a... We're back into a regular schedule. And by regular schedule, I mean, we've got live streams back up and running, because this, past Monday, I got a stream up of Heroes of the Storm. And we got to have some fun there. Unfortunately, we didn't have any people who wanted to get Shogal. I have a feeling that a lot of people who want him already have him. And again, I was really disappointed because I wanted to play as Gen Greymane, but he is not available yet. And welcome everybody to Mirage Village. Why are we here? Believe it or not, a lot of the best armor is here in the game. And it's expensive as hell, but we're gonna buy it anyway because obviously we're gonna need it for the end zone, and also for a lot of the challenges that are gonna lie ahead for our party. But anyway, moving right along to what I was saying. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of channel business to take care of, aside from to the people who are still waiting for the Xenoblade Chronicles X review. It's coming. I've pretty much got as much footage as I think I want to get, and that should be up in the next couple of days or so. Thankfully, that'll give me a couple of weeks off before the next major game that I want to review is out. Which is going to be... I'm going to go ahead and spoil it here because people have known my interest in wanting to review it, and that is Jonathan Blow's The Witness. That's coming out January 26th. So I am going to tackle that on my PS4. I'm very interested in that game. And right now I actually have quite a list of reviews, and some of which are happening like on the exact same day. And people might be wondering what I'm talking about there. Here's the perfect example. The Witness is coming out on the 26th, but also Lego Marvel's Avengers is coming out on the 26th. And I want to review that. So, because I'm a fan of the TT games, the Lego games, and I want to see what they've done by basically bringing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe onto Lego format. I'm very excited to see what they do with it. Especially since we have a bunch of new Gen 3 or Phase 3 movies, I wonder if they will actually have Lego characters in it. So I have those two. And then, like, I think it's 2 weeks later. I need to double check on my calendar here. Yeah, roughly two weeks later, I have 3 games that I am interested in reviewing coming out at that time. And so I might open it up to you guys to see... Excuse me. I might open it up to you guys to see which ones I tackle first, but I already know one of them is probably going to be worthy of a Drak and Shadow try, at least one of them. So... We'll get there when we get there, but I have plenty of games in store, some of which I may actually bring in some guests to help me record footage, just to see what they think of it. But yeah, I'm excited for this year. We're going to have reviews, we're going to have live streams, hopefully some live streams that can last a little bit longer than just one time. As much as I love doing Hearthstone and Heroes with you guys, each time we do those, it's different, and I would love to be able to have kind of like the, I guess the equivalent would be something like what I think Dugan does this occasionally, where like he'll do Shadowgate live with you guys, or live with his subscribers. I want to be able to do that with some of the scene games that have been suggested, as long as people want that. And so we need to make that work, but I'd be excited about it. So yeah, I really wish I had any more channel updates, but no, we're just getting ready into kind of the slow season where I get to recover a little bit. Plus, obviously during this year, I can already tell you, like, we're getting really close to the end of Final Fantasy V here. We're doing all the end game, get all these summon magics and black magics and all that. And then we're going to be done with Final Fantasy V pretty soon, I think. And then after that, we get to go to one of my most favorite, or at least it's in my top 5 Final Fantasy games of all time. And that would be the next game, Final Fantasy VI. So you'll notice, though, I said top 5. My top 3 is kind of exclusive. So yeah, the other thing that I also like to update to people in the meantime is, like, any games that I've been able to play in. During the holiday season, I've been able to hit a couple of them, hit a couple of the titles, but not as much as say, other people might have been able to. I know that, I think Aldo of Board Offline has probably played a little bit more than I have, although he is very addicted to Disney Infinity at this point. Which is fine. He used to beta test the dang thing, so I can't say I hold that against him. But yeah, I was able to get to a few games, but not a whole lot. I guess the first update that I can give was I was able to get back into Shovel Knight, and I was able to beat both Treasure Knight and Plague Knight, and do a lot of side questing in the meantime. People have also asked, how are you playing Shovel Knight? I am playing Shovel Knight on Wii U. I'm not playing it on PS4 or PS3. So my side questing did not involve Kratos. Sorry. But that's what I have it on. So I'm still loving the game. I just wish I had more time to be able to devote 100% to the game. In fact, it's one of those things where I kind of hope we get a Shovel Knight 2, because that would definitely make my review list, because I'd pick it up right then and there. And here's another weapons vendor. This is the guy who's got a lot of the, or at least one good weapon in the double lance, and I think the moon ring also is pretty good. So yeah, it's Shovel Knight I was able to get to. Another game I was able to get to is, and this is a little ahead of schedule, but I wanted to try and find a game I could play with my daughter, even though she wouldn't care that much, but would be calming to her because it'd be something for her to watch. And that was Ratchet & Clank. And I mentioned it in a previous video that I had played a little bit of it. I got the collection on super cheap, and I've been playing through it slowly. Like I'm not, I don't think, more than 20% through the game. But it's been one of those interesting experiences just to play around in the universe and be able to see why people liked it. And again, this is an Insomniac game, so a lot of people might remember I played Spyro for PlayStation, and that is Insomniac also. And I gotta say, I like Ratchet & Clank a whole heck of a lot more than I did Spyro. And I think it's mostly based off of the futuristic world and more the characters. It's nothing against Spyro. Spyro's a good character, but he comes off as kind of a Sonic ripoff to me, and I'm not saying I'm Sonic'd out, because I'm not. I would definitely play another good Sonic game, but that's the problem, is that a good Sonic game is hard to come by these days. I mean, right now we're playing Sonic Generations on Drak and Shadow, and eventually we will get to Sonic Lost World, and I like that game unlike most. But, well, Sonic doesn't really have a whole lot going for him aside from maybe a few hit-or-miss games. And frankly, I don't know if we're going to see a comeback from Sonic anytime soon. In fact, I'm almost wondering if Sega... You know, we keep on saying on Drak and Shadow, it'd be a really great thing if he took like a 10-year break and just kind of refigured out what Sonic is about and the goals that they're trying to reach with Sonic. But I almost wonder if Sega would look at that and just say, you know, maybe 5 years in, look, we don't have any good ideas with Sonic anymore. We're just gonna go ahead and drop him. And while that's sad, it might be the best thing for that franchise, because it would allow Sega to focus on other things. You know, like people remember that I did a live stream with Alex, or the Shadow Blazer, on Tembo the Badass Elephant. I'd love to see more of that. That was fun, and I'd have no problem with that. But anyway, I'm diverting so far because I'm now into Sonic. I was talking about Spyro. Yeah, that's kind of my problems. Spyro had a very Sonic-esque attitude, and it was a collectathon game, and I'm not the biggest fan of collectathons. Granted, a lot of people have told me that Ratchet and Clank is that too. But this one feels better to me. It actually engages me a little bit. Plus, my daughter loves it. You know, she sees all the bolts flying around after I kill an enemy and is like, whoa! So, we've been having fun with it, and I've been having fun just getting to know the characters of Ratchet and Clank, especially since we have a PS4 reimagining of the original Ratchet and Clank coming out pretty soon, and we have the Ratchet and Clank movie, I think they're coming out roughly close to each other, so that's going to be exciting. And that is also another game that I've been able to get my hands on recently. Another game that I was able to get my hands on is Lego City Undercover, and that's just because I really wanted to. In case you guys couldn't tell, I'm actually just looking at it. That's gonna be the title of this episode, I think, is like too much time looking at guides. But I was able to play a little bit more Lego City Undercover because I do love it, and I got to do the best mission in the game so far, at least as far as I am concerned. And that was being able to go to NASA, or the Lego equivalent of NASA. And not only did I get the spaceman uniform, but I basically went there because I'm undercover right now and trying to endear myself to criminals. And I love the Lego definition of criminals. They're just crazier Lego people who have no problem robbing banks. But one of them actually tasked me with going to NASA to steal a moon buggy right off the rocket ship. Yeah, I'm on board with that. I'm okay with it. And I had a blast doing the mission. I love the spaceman uniform and the fact that now there's a bunch of space boxes all over the city that will either beam me up, Scotty, to somewhere else in the city, or they'll have just random space stuff that I can pick up. So I like that idea, but really a lot of the stuff that I've been doing in Lego City Undercover is ingratiating myself to the criminal underworld of the Lego City. I'm trying to. I'm always looking for, like, what's the name of Lego City? No, it's just Lego City. So I really do like it, and again, I love the knock on buddy cop movies and pretty much a lot of the police movie tropes that have happened over the many years. This game's got most of them, so I love the hilarity there. You know, like, they didn't need to do. I like this idea that they didn't need to do Lego Lethal Weapon or Lego Die Hard or any of that stuff. They just needed to do their own story and then spoof the crap out of those storylines. So, I mean, the thing spoofs Starsky and Hutch and, what was the Shawshank Redemption? Oh, so many other films and TV shows, and it's unabashedly wonderful to watch it all happen. So I recommend Lego City Undercover if you guys have not picked it up yet. But I'm roughly about halfway through the game, because I usually only go through the story modes. I don't complete the crap out of them. Yeah, that's right, Andrea. I don't complete them. But that's a waste of your $60. Well, then it's a good thing I didn't pay $60 for the title now, isn't it? Usually these games are so old right now, I'm paying roughly like 20 to 30 for these games. So I'm not even paying full price, and I'm getting what I want out of them. Aside from that, there's been only really one other game I've been able to play a lot of recently, and that is Borderlands 2. And man, I love the I love the storylines I've been able to get into. I've been doing a lot of side questing in the game because I've been finding some value in some of them. Like, if they're quests given by Lilith the Siren or Roland the Soldier, then occasionally I'll get a side quest that is basically going into their relationship, and people can't see the quotations I'm putting on that. But, man, Lilith and Roland are geeks, as far as I am concerned, because there was literally a quest where you had to go find a bunch of echo recorders, where Lilith was looking for reasons to bring Roland out to talk to her, and he was getting mad at her. He's like, well, why didn't you just send an echo recording? And she's like, well, I want to see how you were doing. How are you doing? And he's not getting the hint that she's interested in a relationship. And it's so great to watch Roland be all oblivious. And then the very end, we get an echo recorder where she pulls that crap with him. And then he starts getting interested in her. And she, at the very end, she's like, playing hard to get. That's what worked. I'm like, yes. That's the perfect way for this thing to end. I also got to meet one of the most beloved characters of the Borderlands universe. And that is Tiny Tina. And I've been looking forward to meeting this character in Borderlands 2 since somebody recommended it to me. Because I love it when internet celebrities get into these games. Or get into the development. And this one in particular I love because I am a fan of a little show called Hey Ash, What You Playin'? And it just so happens that the writer for that, Anthony Birch, got hired on by Gearbox to be the writer for Borderlands 2. And so I basically have him to thank, as well as the other writing staff, for characters like Handsome Jack existing. The guy you love to hate. Or even in the case of Tiny Tina, who is played by his sister, and, dare I say, the main focus of the show, Ashley Birch. And I know like, as soon as I heard her dialogue, I went, I know exactly why people love Tiny Tina. Because this is so freaking out. It's basically Ashley's character in the YouTube show, or in the web show, but as a cute and cuddly 12, I think she's 12 or 13-year-old, and in a post-apocalyptic world. It's great. Hearing stuff that, like, you would only hear internet trolls saying on COD in Borderlands. I especially love the fact that she has come up with in-depth backstories of all of her stuffed animals, including adding certain features to them that make me laugh. She was talking about a teddy bear with a badunk you would not believe! And I love it. I love that character. I love what they did with it. And I look forward to so much more dialogue. I've actually heard that Tiny Tina gets a bit of a focus in the DLC, and I am happy that she did. In fact, I don't think Borderlands 3 has happened. Like, a lot of people would consider, I guess, the pre-sequel being that, but I'm talking like an actual successor to Borderlands 2. Please let Tiny Tina be in it. I would love it. I would love it. I love the fact that she got a DLC focus. And I think if you brought back Tiny Tina in Borderlands 3, well, Ashley Birch would probably still do it. I don't know if she would or not. I haven't read like an actual opinion from her on the matter. But I know that she loved the character. So the other thing that I was able to do story-wise in Borderlands 2 is I actually got to a quest line where I had to move Sanctuary because we found out that the mysterious angel that had been guiding the Vault Hunters in Borderlands and now is guiding the current Vault Hunters works for Handsome Jack. Not willingly, but works for Handsome Jack. And so at that point, we actually had a quest where we were supposed to install a new shield unit, and it turned out to be fake, so that Sanctuary fell under attack, and you have to basically move Sanctuary. Which means that Lilith has to learn some things about her new siren powers in a very quick amount of time, and it's an awesome thing to see. And people are still saying, I'm looking at a guide. I swear, that's going to be the episode title here. I'm too much looking at a guide in the Mirage town. But yeah, I'm enjoying the heck out of Borderlands 2. And I think the last time I looked at where I was in the story, I'm like halfway through it. So obviously the story's not that long, but I do know that a lot of emphasis was put into the DLC. Not only the DLC stories, but the DLC characters. Because you start off with 4, and now there is 6 or 7. I think, yeah, there's the Psycho, and then there's the Necromancer. So 6, if there's one other I'm not thinking of, let me know. But I'm excited for what I have in store in Borderlands 2. But since I think I've bored you guys enough of being in Mirage Village, maybe it's time for us to cut it for this week. When we get back, we will take care of some of the other side quests that we need to take care of.